Hello students, welcome to the English class. Let's start with the reading skill. This is Anurag Sidhu, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Ramgarh Pudda, District Mohali. So, you all know that to learn a language, it is a skill, and there are 4 skills involved in learning any language. They are LSRW. This is listening, S speaking, R reading, and W is writing. All skills are important and they overlap. One skill helps the other and you improve your skills and get to know the language. Let's start with the reading skill. What is reading? Reading is of 2 types. One is reading for pleasure, the other is reading for a specific purpose. And how to attempt reading comprehension is reading for a purpose. What is reading for pleasure? Reading for pleasure is to spend your time leisurely, doing a leisurely activity, reading a book, reading novels, storybooks. But reading for a purpose, specific purpose, or how to attempt a reading comprehension, you require to read it for getting marks, to pass a test, to answer questions, to follow a process. So, let's see how we can attempt the reading comprehension. As you already know, the 4 skills of a language are listening, speaking, reading and writing. But what happens is, we sometimes fail to understand the topic. Why is it poor reading comprehension? What are the reasons for it? It is inability to understand a word or a sentence, or lack of exposure to listening in English. So we must listen to news, to stories, you can watch English movies. So listening is a prerequisite to reading well and also speaking well. All skills are interrelated, they are not independent of each other. The more you read, the more you know and more places you go. So let's say lack of good vocabulary. When you are not reading books, you are not reading your more and more out of syllabus books also, that is reading. If you read more, then only you have a good vocabulary or you listen to the target language. Then comes lack of interest. Why are you not, these days students are more into mobile phones and things like that, but reading makes you experts in the language you read. So build your interest, watch interesting movies, watch the daily news and read for yourself. You can read the topics to your liking, to your interest. And lack of concentration is another, because you don't concentrate on what you're doing. So read well and then only you will be able to understand the language and be able to attempt the questions. General strategies for reading. What is reading? It is not loud reading, it is reading with understanding. Reading to get to know the answers. So these are the tips, general strategies for reading. All tasks require the following skills in attempting reading passages. So you can see there is a key. Reading is the key to learning. So every lock opens if you read well. So when we attempt the passages, we first read the passage little by little and जिसनों ਅਸੀਂ कहने सरसरी जी उसनों टॉपिक ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ just go through it quickly. Then interpreting instructions and questions. What are the instructions? The reading is more like listening also. Recently you've done your listening chapter, listening skills. So you listen to the instructions of how to attempt it, how to attempt the passage. Then you have to interpret the questions also, what the question demands from us. ਕੀ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਮੰਗਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ question. Question ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ keywords ਹੋਣਗੇ, we underline those keywords and then we try to find the answers to those questions. Then there is skimming for general idea of some text is the gist. General idea, paragraph ਪੜਿਆ, ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੈਰਾਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਹੈ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ words ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਟਾਫਟ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ मेन आइडिया ले लेना है कि है what it is about and what type of questions have been asked from the text. Then comes scanning for specific answers. Scanning is pinpointing that word, that keyword. You have to find that keyword in the passage and then look a little left and look a little right to that word and you have to find the specific answers. That means you have to close read it properly and then check your answers. And one more thing, when you attempt the reading passage, you have to be careful about the spellings also. So when you write your answers, just see if you have written the right spelling. Right spelling means, is it a plural word is required, so you have to write, if it is boy and the word required is boys, you have to write an S. Without that, you do not get a mark. So if it is required verb or noun, what is it required? Which part of speech is required in the sentence? Is it a verb or is it a noun? So you have to be careful about that also, and you have also to mind your grammar. So let's read the passage. We'll quickly read what the passage is about and then we'll go to the questions. So Khwaja Ahmad Abbas is a prominent director, screenwriter in the Indian film industry, known best for work in Urdu, Hindi, English. He has been a part of some of the most iconic films in the history of Indian cinema. Apart from this, he was a journalist for Bombay Chronicle, then The Blitz. He was born in Panipat, India. So here you have a date. So you have maybe, there might be a question about the dates. So you can underline, while you read, you can underline a few words and then you can go to the questions and you will find that something or the other is asked about these words. So next is, he graduated from Aligarh Muslim University, studied English literature, journalist, based in New Delhi. He was a film critic and an editor. So Hindi film industry he made his way into. So there, then Bombay Talkies, Naya Sansar is a movie, then it is a date, first screenplay. You can read and just underline the main words from you can forego the prepositions, but you have to, the content words you have to underline. So next, let's see what it is. He started work. Now let's see if we work with films like Neecha Nagar. So maybe now these are just the names of the films. So let's see. Then he won a prize. Okay, so we can underline this. The rest are the films. So these are all the films here. So we can say that this passage is about a person who is a script writer and also who has written scripts, and he is a critic and a journalist. So let's go further to the questions and leave it this till here, and now let's look at the questions. How does the film industry know K.A. Abbas? Was he a director, a producer, as an actor, as an editor? So we have to go back and see what it was. Now if we have read the paragraph a little, let's say he was a director, but we'll find it in the in the paragraph again. Where was he born? Yes, some of you might have caught the word. You have, it was, this is this, maybe we'll find out yet. Then, was it Patiala or Panipat? It was Panipat. In which year was he born? So, we have to look for dates here. We have to look for the dates in the passage. So, Khwaja Ahmad Abbas is a prominent director. We can find the first answer, prominent director. So, he was as a director. We know him as a director. So, next question is, where was he born? So, he was born on 7 June 1914 in Panipat. Now, this line answers two questions. He was born in Panipat and on 7th June 1914. So, let's see the second and the third answer. He was born in Panipat, and in which year he was born? He was born in 1914 in Panipat. So, two questions have been answered in one sentence. So, let's start. He started off as a dash based in New Delhi. What was he? What was he doing? Was he a screenwriter or a journalist? He started off. What do you mean by started off? Started off means began. Okay. So, he began his career as what? What was he in Delhi? Because let's see. You have to find the answer from the passage itself. But you have to know the words used. He started off as a, what will it be? Yes, it will be a journalist. But we have to check it first. Not write the answer as it is. You have to check and cross check, because it is going to bring you a mark. So, the next question, let's say, when did he start his career in films? Career. It is career. You have to read the word and you have to see. Now, let's discuss this. There could be another word, similar sounding. This is the cycle has a carrier, okay, and somebody who carries. So, this is a career. Career is kam ki karda si ho. What was he doing? So, when did he start? So, while you are reading the chapter, you have to know the words. You have to know the meaning of these words. That you have to understand what it is and then answer the questions. So, this could be, let's say, we later on we'll also study homonyms. Not today, maybe in another class, we'll study homonyms. These are homonyms. So, you have to, they can be a same sounding word with different meanings, or it could be same spelling with different meanings in different contexts. So, we have to do those also. So, let's see, we'll first start with the question 4. He started off as a, what did he start off as? Here, he started off as a journalist based in New Delhi. So, he started off as a journalist. So, what is the answer? Journalist. He started as a journalist. So, the answer is journalist. Later on he became a film critic, but here he started as a journalist. When did he start his career in films? Let's see, when did he start his career in films? We'll have a look at the passage. He made his way into film industry. Made his way into का मतलब भी, when did he start working in the film industry? So that he did it in 1936. He did in 1936. His first screenplay was, let's see what the screenplay was. His first screenplay, you have to look for this word and then look a little left or right. So he sold Naya Sansar 1941, which was his first screenplay, with many more to come. So the first one was Naya Sansar in 1941. So let's go further for question number 7. Which film did win the Palme d'Or at the Cannes
Film Festival. So which film was it? Now even if you don't know what this is, you do not know what this is the name of an award, because he has won it. Okay, so you can understand from the sentence, from the word win, that what did he win, which film did he win it for. So at the Cannes festival, you have to say Cannes, like Cannes festival. So this is, which movie was it? Let's see. Won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. So this is, how do you pronounce this? This is film festival. So when was it? The picture was Neecha Nagar. Name any two of his iconic movies. Two movies, there are many, but we can just name two. So let's say some of these movies ended up being the most iconic movies of Indian cinema. So you can write Avara, you can write Rahi, you can write Shri 420, Pradesi or Satta Bazaar. So any two you can write. So any two out of the 5, that will be the answer. Now, what is this? Synonym of illustrious. Synonym of illustrious. Okay. It could be, what is illustrious? Illustrious could be famous, well known, acclaimed, notable, eminent, distinguished. Any word can be, you can write it here, you can write eminent, or you can say distinguished, famous, well known, renowned. So any of the synonyms you can write. Fill in the blank with a suitable word from the passage. He works as an, here you have to use the word from the passage itself. It has to be there in the passage. So he works as an editor for the film section of the Bombay Chronicle. The word illustrious, here we have given eminent, but you can give any of the words I spoke. I just told you. So the passage next. He was also a film critic and an editor for the film section of the Bombay Chronicle. So you can write editor. Now you can see here an is always given, already given. So what you have to find it, even if you don't know the meaning of the word editor, but you all know, I know, but there could be another word, but because it is an, so what you have to be a similar sounding word, a word sounding from A, E, I, O, U, because we write an before the vowel sounds of these words, these vowels. So there has to be an editor. So the word could start from these these letters. So next, let's start with the reading passage 2. We'll quickly read the passage and know what it is about. Indian women are witnessing increasing empowerment after partition of the Indian subcontinent and creation of a sovereign nation, India. A classic example is Indira Gandhi, the first and till date the only woman to become Prime Minister of India. Indira Gandhi is acclaimed, we already know this word from the last paragraph, worldwide as Iron Lady of India. So we can underline a few words which are important. She was elected to power in 1966 and ruled the country for various terms till her assassination in 1984. So we go further, that women in India are genuinely empowered is evident from the fact that country's 12th president was Pratibha Rao Patil. Very few countries in the world have women as president or
Prime Minister. Very few countries in the world. Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar deserves credit for enshrining women empowerment in the Constitution of India. The Constitution carries several clauses and sections that eliminate ambiguity over the status of women. They also serve to empower women. So let's see the questions. What was the paragraph about? The paragraph was about women empowerment, and there were two people who were three persons. So when you look at the paragraph, look at names, look at dates, look at places. So those can be the questions. Look at quotes, look at the who said what. So those can be the questions which can be asked and you have to answer. Now what can be, when are Indian women witnessing empowerment? It was before partition? No. In 1984? No. In 1966? No. So we can eliminate these and then look at these two. So we'll look at the paragraph and find out. After partition. So the word is after partition. Witnessing increasing empowerment after partition. So the word is after partition. So we have done this. Who became the only woman Prime Minister of India? So there were two women who were talked about. One was Pratibha Rao Patil. So she became the President. So Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi. Who is the Iron Lady of India? That also is given. That's here we can answer two questions. One is this and one is this. The only woman Prime Minister. So two questions have been answered. Yes, we can say this one is also answered and this again comes here. So this is answered, right? When are Indian women witnessing? Okay. Who enshrined women empowerment in the Constitution of India? So even if we do not know the meaning of this word, but still we can come to the answer, we can derive at the answer. Yes, Bharat Ratna, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, but we have the word here, similar word. So we can say deserves the credit. Who did it? Bharat Ratna was awarded to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He made the constitution, he wrote the constitution, he compiled it, let's say. So he was one person who deserves to be given the credit for making women equal parts in the Constitution of India. The Constitution carries several clauses and sections that eliminate ambiguity over the status of women. So the status of women was, they were given empowerment by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So fill in the blank with a suitable word from the passage. The dash of Mahatma Gandhi sent shock waves across the world. Now there was this word assassination. Let's see. She was elected to power in 1966 and ruled the country for the various terms till her assassination in 1984. So the word, she was, Indira Gandhi was killed while she was in office, and that we say killed means assassinated. So the next one is, we write assassination of Mahatma Gandhi sent shock waves around the world. So we can, because we have to use the word from the passage, we cannot use the word death or the killing. We don't use this word. We have to use the word which is there in the passage itself. So the word assassination is used here. Let's go further and match the columns with A with the meanings of column B. Now here is that word acclaim. Acclaim means praise. Evident is clear. Had it been opposite of the, give the opposite of the word, then evident and unclear would have been there, but now it is meaning of the word. So there you always know that the two words, so the meanings are three, so one meaning is not right, one meaning is not correct. So acclaim means praise, evident means clear. See this. So now that both the passages are over, we will discuss a little how to go about it, how we have to read properly. Let's see, this word acclaim. Acclaim can be used for illustrious also, and then well known, distinguished. Acclaimed can also be used as acknowledged. Let's see the passage here. Hanji. Here is this word acclaimed. Indira Gandhi is acclaimed worldwide as Iron Lady of India. So here, even if you don't understand, but you understand the word worldwide, so we can say Indira Gandhi is known worldwide as Iron Lady of India, or you can say is famously known as, Iron Lady of India, or you can say she is recognized as the Iron Lady of India. So word you can say recognized also. Recognized means ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ as the Iron Lady of India. So let's go back and look at the paragraph once again. Indira Gandhi, the first and till date. What do you mean by the word till date? Till date, ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ. Till date means ਅੱਜ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਡਿਲੀਵਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਲੈਕਚਰ, ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੱਕ ਇੰਦਰਾ ਗਾਂਧੀ ਫਸਟ ਵੀ ਸੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ, ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਹਲੇ ਉਹ only prime minister ਸੀ. Till date, the only woman to become prime minister of India. So do you understand the meaning of till date? Yes, the only woman to become prime minister of India. So these words like these you understand from the context. So what is context? Context is ਜਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਉਹ word, ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਹੈ. Now let's go back again. Okay. Now can we say when was she assassinated? When was Indira Gandhi killed? It was in 1984. You can give the date. Now another thing I want to explain here is, let's see about look at the prepositions here. You have to just have a look. In 1984, in 1966, okay, this is in year, and when you have the date, let's see the date now. Let's go to passage 1. Let's go to passage 1. You find, yes, now here you are on June 7th 1914. Had it been just the year, if it had been a year, when was she born? In which year was she born? It was in 1914. You write the preposition in. And when was she born? If it is a date, like 7th June, then it is, you write on 7th. ठीक है? And if we say you have for a date you write on, for a year you write in, and if it is in, like in the morning, in the afternoon, So you write in. And if you say on what day was it, let's say it was a Sunday, then it could be on Sunday. So you write on for a day or a date, and time of the day, if it is morning or evening, then it is in, or if it is a year, then it is in 1914. Then again, if it is in a city, in a big city, it is in Panipat, India. So likewise, you have to keep looking for the other parts of speech also in the passages. Let's start with the first passage again. We were doing the reading passage 1. So Khwaja Ahmad Abbas is a prominent director and screenwriter in the Indian film history, known best for his work in Urdu, Hindi and English. So here he worked in 3 languages. He had written in 3 languages, or he had made films in 3 languages. So he has a great contribution in all the 3 languages. So for us, let's say if we read a few books and start working on our vocabulary, we can do wonders. And for vocabulary you have to read and read. And if when you read, look at the way the word appears in the context. So the meaning of the word depends on the context. I always give a few examples. Now if you have a word 8, can you tell me what I am speaking about? 8. If I give you the spellings, it is ATE, means मैंने खाना खाया, I ate food. And if it is EIGHT, then it is 8, the number after 7. So that is 8. This is 8. So here, if you have it in a context, if you listen, so it sounds the same. But then there is another word, week, and WEAK week, WEEK week. So you have to understand from the context what it is. You might be listening to the similar sounding word, but it will have different spellings. But when you attempt your answers, you have to write the correct spellings from the passage itself, and you have to check and recheck that you have written the correct spellings. So then there is another word, dear and dear. Oh, you are so dear to me. Then, oh, that was a beautiful deer. So these are homonyms. We'll be doing these homonyms later. Let's revise what are the 5 tasks while doing the reading skill. Previewing, then interpreting instructions of the question paper as well as for the answer sheet. Then there are interpreting instructions and questions, what the question is asking of us. Then there is skimming for the general idea of the text, scanning for specific answers, and then checking your answers. Thank you so much. This is Anurag Sidhu from Government Senior Secondary School, Ramgarh Pudda, and there's a great help from Mr. Suresh Kumar, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Pandori Nijra, District Jalandhar. Thank you so much everyone, and wait for the next topic, homonyms and homophones and homographs. Till then, you find out what these 3 are. We'll be discussing some of them in our next reading skill classroom. Thank you.